Okay, we have fitted the wind deflectors. We started with the back window because it was the easiest, because the length of the deflector itself, I can get one hand at one side, one hand at the other, and I could feel the edge of the door and then put it in place. So I didn't have to move it. It is said in the little piece of paper that comes with it that you don't want to be adjusting once in place, you want to just try and put it straight where it's going to go. Luckily I was able to do that for all windows because I didn't push them in place until I had them hovered over where they were going and I was happy where they were going to go. Then I put them in place. So once this was put in place, I used my thumbs and I stood back and leaned forward, putting my weight onto my thumbs and onto the deflector itself, and inched my way along the deflector a bit at a time until I got to the end. I did that for all of them. When I put all of them in place, as you see the line of the car now, now we have a gap because we need to be able to open the door, and when you open the door it comes close to the deflector but doesn't touch it. They are actually, all of them, perfectly aligned to the edge of the metal on the door. I don't know if you can see that the pad, there is a gap between the pad and each bit, and there is a small line here that will, if I leave it, likely let in water. The pads themselves that you stick are half the width of this bit here, but they're in dead centre. It would have been much easier if they just filled the whole lot with a pad, and it would have more area to stick to hold it on the car. So I don't know why they didn't do that. And I found my receipt for these in the box, and I was wrong, they weren't £40. So with that I need to get it, so I'm back. So this is the actual receipt for it. They were actually £26.99. I got them off eBay. They actually came, well, they were sold by a British company, but the parcel actually I think came from abroad. I think it came from Germany, but it came fast enough. And then when I seen it, I couldn't put it on unless the temperature was between 20 and 40 degrees because the glue wouldn't set off, and that you need 2 fine days because you can't wash the car for 48 hours. I can drive the car after 24, which means I can't use the car any time today. So it's a good job it's soon. It's actually only 8:30 in the morning. So that means tomorrow morning, Sunday, at 8:30 I can drive the car. Not that I'm likely to, but I could. I can't wash the car anymore. Well, I can't wash above where the door is because I can't let water get onto the glue pad. And that's what I mean about there is a gap between that. It's surprising it didn't just go completely over the top of the door. So therefore water wouldn't be able to get in that little gap that's between the deflector and the door itself. So I will likely try and put some glue, run a bead along, and hopefully that will soak in and cover up that bit so water can't get in, because over time if water is sitting on that pad it's going to deteriorate the pad and therefore it will come off. So I don't see why they wanted the gap, and I can't see why they didn't just make the pads bigger. So with that, the wind deflectors are now in place. As we said, they were easy to do. When it came to the front one, a little more complicated because one, it's fairly large, and we have this little groove here, which actually has a little hole there as well. But that's as far as that's supposed to go, because if I move that any more in that direction, this bit here wouldn't line up to the edge of the door frame here, which it does here. So as I said, I turned the car on since I was opening and shutting the door. So the reason for the deflectors is that I can that's a gap. I can now get a opening of the window all the time and let air come through, hopefully keeping the car a little cooler, also letting air in so I don't have to use the aircon. The deflector will, with it just open that much, the air won't make as much noise inside the car, so we can have a little bit of ventilation at faster speeds. So I've had deflectors on my last two cars. I bought them and put them on. My last pair, you just rolled down the window and it had this long bit and you pushed it up into the window and it had a little pad which stuck to the rubber, and then you shut the window and the window pushed the deflector against the rubber and it stayed in place. Even when it didn't stay in place and it started dropping after age, it still didn't fall out because it was between the two sides, so it wasn't an easy thing to take out. But these ones are different. These ones physically bond to the car door frame, and these are the first time I've had this type, as even the one before that they didn't. So these ones are specifically for this car. As I said, they were £26.99, £27 off eBay. So we'll say they do look nice on. So all I have to do is I will give it the 48 hours. I won't try adding any more glue until what's here is secure. Then I'll see about running some glue over the edge and hopefully sealing up between the door frame and the deflector, and hopefully it'll soak in a bit, and that will stop any water or reduce the amount of water that can get in and touch the pad which is bonding the deflector to the door. With that was my job for the day. The car still looks like crap because it's dirty, even though I washed it. It was all the little blue flowers all falling down on top of the car. Really did mess and dirty the car up. And as we said, we've already removed some of the tree and therefore cut down how much will now fall on the car. So with that, it's time to go in and for me to get a drink. I mean coffee or something like that. I don't mean drink. No, I don't mean drink. No, I don't mean drink at all. So with that, we'll review these. We'll see how they go. We'll see how they are on motorways and when we're driving, and see what noise we do get from them. But the one thing that they should help with is I found that when I turned my windscreen wiper on and washed the window, if the window was open, the water would leave the window at speed and drip inside the car. I'm hoping that this will deflect the water away or even up and away behind. So we'll have to see how that goes, because I had water dripping in after I cleaned the window when it was warmer, and it was dripping onto my controls on the door. So we'll see how that goes, because that was a right pain. So with that, thank you for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you on the next video. Bye for now.